sensational lesbian eye contact coupled with sensational 80s hairstyles. I want to touch Susan Sarandon's hair in this film. I want to do that. Hi guys, welcome to a video, and in today's video I'm just going to be reviewing the oh so delicious 1983 film The Hunger, as a part of my vampire lesbian film review series for spooky season. The time is upon us, lesbians. So, if you're not familiar with this film, The Hunger is about two lovers, John and Miriam. Miriam is an immortal vampire, and John has been led to believe that he'll also live forever. Unfortunately, he quickly deteriorates into a horrible living death. Miriam seeks out a new companion. She sets her sights on Sarah, a young scientist who quickly falls under Miriam's spell. However, Sarah does not warm up to the concept of vampirism easily, leading to conflict between the two. Alright, so let's get into what I liked about this film. Look, this film is quintessentially 80s. The hair, the fashion, the makeup, the lighting, the music, and honestly, this film is a visual delight. Everyone and everything embodies the height of coolness in this film. Yeah, I honestly don't think they make films as cool as this anymore. I don't. The cinematography and the editing in this film is just exquisite, and it stood out to me. I would classify this film as high art, and yes, this film is erotic, but I feel the eroticism in this film is purposeful and it's tasteful. It adds to the story. You can just tell a lot of care was taken with this film. I think a lot of what makes this film what it is the acting. I mean, all of the acting is absolutely on point. It's really on point, and really I think the two components which make this film what it is the acting and the artistic vision. I think these two components really just solidify this film as a fantastic piece of work. They really do. Has David Bowie ever starred in a bad film? I do not think so. I also found a lot of the themes in this film very interesting. For example, the concept of the aging undead, which is not something that's often explored in your average vampire film. But the best thing about this film is undoubtedly the chemistry between Miriam and Sarah and their love scene together. I had forgotten just how electric the eye contact was between these two, and just how thick the tension was between the two of them as well. Both actors did such a good job, and you could tell they were really committed to their roles in this film. I also love how delicate and meaningful their love scene is. I think the level of nudity in this film could have come across as gratuitous or cheap, but because of the care taken with this film, I feel like they managed to avoid that. As a fun fact, Sarah was initially supposed to sleep with Miriam because she'd had too much to drink, but they changed that because Susan Sarandon insisted that Sarah wouldn't really need to be drunk to sleep with Miriam, which I think is interesting. That adds another layer to their relationship because Sarah was somewhat complicit rather than just solely a victim. Susan Sarandon, my queen. It also doesn't hurt that both Susan Sarandon and Deneuve are stunning. So beautiful. I'm just captivated by the beauty of these two women. I really am. My only criticism of this film is some parts of it feel slightly disjointed and as though a few scenes have been skipped over. For example, there's a scene where Sarah and her boyfriend are having dinner together, and he thinks she needs to go and see a doctor because she's been acting weird. But at that point, we as an audience haven't been shown that her character has been acting weird, or at least weird enough to warrant that kind of a comment. So it just felt like they had skipped over a couple of scenes and made it feel disjointed. There are just parts of this film where it's up to the audience to fill in the gaps. I also struggled to understand the ending. Now, this could be a me problem, but I have read other reviews where people kind of feel the same way as me, including Susan Sarandon, who has actually spoken about the ending herself. She said, "The thing that made the film interesting to me was this question of, would you want to live forever if you were an addict? But as the film progressed, the powers that be rewrote the ending and decided that I wouldn't die. So what was the point? All the rules that we'd spent the entire film delineating, that Miriam lived forever and was indestructible, and all the people that she transformed eventually all died, and that I killed myself rather than be an addict, was ignored. Suddenly, I was kind of living, she was kind of half dying. Nobody knew what was going on, and I just thought that was a shame. So yeah, perhaps it isn't just me who takes issue with the ending, which makes me feel slightly better. There was just a lot of question marks hanging over the ending. From what I understand, they actually changed the ending from the one in the book that this film is based upon. So the departure from the source material may have played into the shaky ending. But even still, I feel like they could have offered somewhat of an explanation. For example, I understand that Sarah has taken Miriam's place, so to speak. But how is it Sarah has managed to stay alive when the rest of Miriam's lovers presumably perished because she herself perished? Yet at the same time, the film shows us that she's also trapped in a coffin. I don't really understand. Perhaps it was open to interpretation and it was supposed to be a talking point, but again, it just felt like they'd kind of skipped over some important points with the ending, but overall, I adore this film. I think it's a fantastic piece of visual work, and from a lesbian perspective, I very much enjoy it. The chemistry is mwah. Yeah, I just adore this film. I really do like it. Okay guys, if you've seen The Hunger, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments section below. If you're a lesbian, if you're a lady of the night, come and join the Sapphic Underground Club. Just come and join it. It's a safe space for lesbian vampires. It is. Don't forget to subscribe for instant disappointment, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!